Do you want a fursuit but you're too broke to afford one? Well, too bad. Fursuits are a luxury item, art pieces, and it doesn't make you any less of a furry to not have one. But if you still want to know how to get a fursuit for cheap, let me help. First, let me set some ground rules. Don't buy any mass-produced suits, and don't lowball artists. Those are the ground rules. That's it. Simple, right? Here's one of the first ways you can get a fursuit for cheap. And of course, I know it's oversaid, but make it yourself. You can make a fursuit for yourself for $100 to $200. And there's so many resources online to help you throughout that process. That's how I started. I made my first fursuit myself. Here's the second way. You can browse lots of beginner makers and artists on the dealer's den. These beginner makers will be selling their suits for cheap. While I don't like seeing them undersell themselves, they are doing that. And no, these won't be like the high quality fursuits you see all these popular people wearing, but they're still pieces of art that these makers worked really, really hard on. And here's the third way. First rule of this way, do not, I repeat, do not buy from Dokidoki or meowfursuits. They have really shady business practices and terrible communication with customers. They don't release the makers that they use. They gatekeep them, and all the suits you see on Dokidoki are upmarked from what the original maker sells them for. The original maker will sell their suit for $500 in USD, but Dokidoki will list it for around $800 and up. And these makers are not getting that full profit. As for Dokidoki itself, let me just put a little picture of what they recently posted from one of their makers. I guess they don't quality check or, I don't know, check what they post, but this is like unacceptable. If you want a suit for cheap in these styles, why don't you just download the app Red Note, or also known as Xiaohongshu? It is where all these makers are. And you can get it for even cheaper than you would on Dokidoki or meowfursuits. And this artist will now get the entire profit of you commissioning them, rather than Dokidoki upcharging and then giving them only part of the profit. I genuinely don't know why so many people dick ride Dokidoki and meowfursuits so hard, when they are probably some of the worst people to choose. Just support the actual artist. That's all for me today. I will maybe make a full video on why Dokidoki and Meow are also just terrible as a whole, but that's for next time. Thanks for tuning in and listening. Bye!